Hello and welcome to my humble abode. Today we are here to discuss a couple of things, and the first would be how to do an HD whoop. Unfortunately, I lost my HD whoop somewhere in the house actually. I literally can't find it. So I can't show you the actual HD whoop that I used for the filming that you've probably seen around. There should be a picture popping up right about now showing how he used to look like. Sad face, tear rolls down the cheek. But unfortunately, I can't show you that one. What I can do, though, is tell you how to make your own using the same materials that I use, or semi-like materials that I use. So let's dive straight into that. What you're gonna need first is a tiny whoop, and for the HD whoop, my recommendation, if you want to go with a 1S, is to use the UAV, or at least parts of it, right? Now, the assembly, my recommendation is to switch the frame the wrong way around. So I have a frame here that's clear, and you can see that normally the pointy bit is where the front is facing. But what we should do is actually the other way around. We should get the flat bit as the front. And why is that? To make the camera stick underneath here. Now there's a little problem with this camera, and if you haven't seen it yet, you can see the case of this camera in this video right here, should be popping by. And the problem with this camera is that it's actually used like this. So that's the bottom part, this is the top part, and you can see it folds to the left. It would be really good if you could use the camera like this, but that would mean, so if you could use the camera like this, but that would mean that the image would be sideways, and unless you can fly sideways, it wouldn't be very good. So what we have to do is, where's the top? So the top is where the buttons here are. What we have to do is kind of bend the lens and the cable in a way that it will make it flat. So actually this, in order to have like a correct video, has to be pointing like that. Yeah, or the other way around. So what I've done with the my tiny whoop that I lost, unfortunately, was the following. I got the two buttons on the outside, obviously, so I can start the recording and stop the recording. Again, I mounted the camera just underneath the front ridge here and underneath the ducts, and I glued it on with this welder glue. So mounted like this, buttons out to the front, and then the other thing that I did was I removed the camera, which is glued here very tightly. Let me unglue it. And what I've done is I twisted it in a way. Now, depending on the ribbon cable that you have, you don't want to twist it very hard, or you are gonna break that ribbon cable because it's very, very fragile. So you need to find a way where you can twist the camera, you can twist the ribbon cable enough, but obviously not break it. So be super duper extra careful with that. And this is the desired effect that you want to have. Obviously the camera has to be a bit lower. So first I glued the PCB just underneath the ducts like that, and you can even glue it a bit to the side so you can have a better exit for the SD card. like that. And then you have to kind of bend the ribbon cable of the camera and be very, very gentle so it faces forward. Now, if you do exactly like this, all the footage that you're recording with this little AG camera is gonna be upside down, but the only thing that you have to do is obviously when you're editing you have to flip the image around. As you've seen probably from previous HD videos, the footage is really good, and the camera that I've used in other whoops is not actually this one. This one is the Firefly camera. It's pretty good for the daylight, but the other camera that I'm using is Kalima 12, which is really good for the nighttime just because of the filters that it doesn't have. So if you use that camera in the day, you're gonna have things being a little greenish and violet and purple and stuff like that. It's a bit weird. So if you're flying for the day, I would definitely recommend this camera instead of the other one. And again, you can see the review for this specific camera on that video that I mentioned before. So the second thing I wanted to show you is this gauge that I brought from JUNKIE, and you might have seen these already on a live stream that I've made, flying through them and whatnot, but I just wanted to show them here on the YouTubes. Okay, so these gates are pretty much the same size as the regular tiny whoop gates that you see laying around from Jesse on tinywhoop.com. Actually, let me get one of those gates out here. Pop. The size is pretty much almost exactly the same. I asked Jem, and Jem told me that his are, what was it, a centimeter wider or something like that. I don't know. He'll post something on the comments, I'm sure. But apparently the Jem gates might be slightly bigger or slightly smaller. I think it look smaller actually, because I can see the here on the outside it looks slightly bigger than the JUNKIE ones. Maybe it's the center hole that's slightly bigger. Yeah, I think maybe the center hole might be slightly bigger. The differences about this gate is that, compared to the tiny whoop one, is that the material is much thicker, and obviously it folds like the tiny whoop gates do, although the folded size is slightly bigger. It comes in a pack of 4, and it comes in this rather nice it comes in this rather nice bag from from JUNKIE. And that's what just happened actually. If you're buying these gates from JUNKIE, there's a warning that tells you exactly this, like, be careful when you're opening, because they just pop out and it might like get you in the face or something. The other thing that I found was that the gates have a little, see if you can see here, a little gap here inside, and it seems to be in most of them where JUNKIE ends, like at the point where JUNKIE ends and this checkered thing appears. Actually, you can see here the sew part is not there, and that means that there's a hole inside where you can put some LEDs. There you go. Which is nice. I really like the fact that the stripy ends when you're flying through them look really nice, and I like the MYLIPO logo as well on the bottom. It really pops out. On the back, it's not double-sided, but the material is resistant enough that you can even fly 2.5 inch, and I have tested and smashed into the gate. Smash that like button, as you should. And yeah, it's durable, it works. I didn't see any issues with that. But I wanted to show you what it looks like in the light with LEDs. Unfortunately, I don't have enough LEDs to go the whole circle, but you'll get the picture. And then what it looks like in the dark, flying through the same thing. A cool thing that I found, and as you saw in the video, it was attached to one of my lamps in the ceiling, which is metal. And how did I do that? It's very simple. I got this tiny little magnet things. They don't look like this when you buy them. I'll put the link down in the description. They actually are flat, but you can just bend them, and then because they won't be able to. Uh-oh. There we go. Because you don't bend them too often though. So you bend the grabby thing up, and then because the part where you push is gonna be flat out and you won't be able to use it, you have to bend this as well. So this is the end result. And they're very cheap, and the way that they work is it just grabs onto the gate, and then it has a little magnet on top that just attaches to metallic stuff. I have as well, where it's at, these for the tiny whoop gates, which I actually didn't show in the video, but you know, whatever. And these work in a different way. So it's a 3D printed Majigabob thing. It's very simple. It has a little hole here that goes into the tiny whoop gate on the top. Exactly like if you've ever bought the tiny whoop gate, you'll know that it has kind of similar things that attach to the side and then goes on a pole and stuff. I hate them, sorry Jesse. So I created this. And how does this work? This attaches to the gate, and then you get a little magnet and just glue it on top. And that means that you can just attach this gate to a light somewhere. Like that. I think that's it for today. But before I go, I wanted to do another giveaway. It's a neck strap from Newbie Drone. I've had this for a while. I don't use it, so I want to give it to you, my viewers. You're welcome. Anyhow, if you would like to get this lovely neck strap for yourself, all you have to do is leave a like on this video and a comment down below. That's it. Wow. Thank you for watching. As always, remember, if you have not subscribed yet, you can subscribe by clicking this little magical button that always appears on the same place. What? And also there are other videos that also magically appear on the other side of the screen. Wow, YouTube, that's cool. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Bye now.